This is how I prepared downloaded add-on vehicles to be used on the FX server. The only tool you'll need is called OpenIV. You can Google that and download it. It should be easy to find. When you launch it, it'll ask you what game and what version. I choose GTA 5 and Windows, obviously. The downloaded files I have are over here. I've expanded the archives into their own folders, so we can use them quickly and easily that way. In OpenIV, you will need to open that folder. It's already pointing at it for me. Select folder. Then you can access the various vehicles you've downloaded in the folders that you've already expanded. So let's do the Chevy Silverado. Inside there, you can scroll down, not scroll, you can work your way down in until you find the DLC RPF file. In there, you'll have an x64 and a data branch. Sometimes this will be a longer branch above, but the x64 you will definitely need to go into until you find the vehicle's RPF file. This tells you the code that you use to spawn this vehicle and the files that you'll need for the mod. I store the mod, sort of build it up in here. I've got this FiveM folder that I created. It's just an empty structure, but that's how I can build it up and then copy it into my server. Inside there, I renamed the X folder to the same thing that spawns it, and that makes sense for me when I copy it into my FX server, because if I find out there's a folder already there with that name, I know I've already got a vehicle that's using that code. And that can cause conflict, so I would have to do something about that. Inside here, we have a stream folder and a resource LUA. This file is the same for every add-on, every vehicle add-on, and we'll look inside it in a minute. Inside the stream folder is where you'll put all of your YFT and YTD files. There will always be these three. Sometimes there will be more if there are mods for the vehicle, and in this case there are. These are all things you can modify in an LS Customs if you have a mod for that installed for modifying your vehicles, which I assume you do. They all go in the stream folder. Above there, back to the resource LUA. As I said, it's the same for all of them. These are the 4 files that are relevant to running it on an FX server. So as long as you have those 4, you're good. If any of those 4 files is missing, you can simply delete the lines that are missing out of this file, and it should work fine. Those files you'll find back up here under DLC RPF in the data section. Sometimes, as I said, sometimes this will be a longer path down through, but in this case they're right at the data level. Copy those into here. So you have those 4 files that you recognize: vehicles, handling, car variations, and car calls. DLC text.meta is in every one of them. I'm not sure what it is or what it's for, but it seems to be there, so I leave it. Doesn't do any harm. Once you've got all those files copied in, your add-on is basically ready to go. Go up a level, and I copy this into my FX server folder. Then we'll head over and modify the server config file so that it loads it. Save the server config and launch the server. And you'll see at the very bottom, the last one that loads, since we put it in at the end, is the 1500 DJ right there. Server's running. Now we'll launch the game. And we're in. You can use whatever method you like for spawning vehicles. I happen to use Lambda menu. And you can spawn the vehicle by name. There we go. And with we know that there were some files that were additional in there that we can use for customizing. Here's the vehicle with some of those mods applied that we saw the files going in for. I couldn't actually show you in the shop because there's music playing, and that's the quickest way to get a video taken down from YouTube.